Payroll is one of the essentials that helps a store run, and hopefully as effectively and efficiently as possible. And during the wintertime, especially after the holidays in January, payroll is absolutely one of the biggest priorities in controlling costs of your store, especially as businesses prepare to end their fiscal year at the end of January, beginning of February, and enter a new one. Granted, the actual new year has started, but for businesses, they still have 1 month left until they reach that point. And during January, again, it's sometimes one of the worst times to actually have that sort of job because most likely, even if you're a manager in some cases, your hours will be cut. If you're a sales associate, it's almost a given your hours will be cut. And even as managers, assistant managers, or even an assistant store manager, if stores need to make up for a big loss in sales and just need to control some of their spending, they have to cut their hours. Granted, of course, it could be poor budget planning on the company's part, but nonetheless, it still has to be carried out anyway. And when I was working at the shoe store, this happened about 2 years ago, our manager's hours were cut drastically. I remember one manager only worked 20 some odd hours one week because she didn't really want the hours and wanted another manager to take it. She thought, oh, well, if my hours are being cut, might as well not work that much at all. And a lot of other people were following that mentality, but it's something that we had to do at that point because our hours were being cut. Mine were reduced to 28, 30, 32 for the most part, and luckily we only had to deal with it in January, but it's still something that shouldn't happen, especially if you're a full-time manager. It's really not an occurrence that should happen time and time again. That was probably the worst of it while working at the shoe store, but in an industry such as retail, companies have to think about more than their bottom line all the time, which of course is maybe a pipe dream, but it affects so much more than just controlling sales. It affects people's families, people's lives, and everything they do, and basically how they pay their bills. And something needs to change where stores, and especially store management, and the CEOs are more responsible fiscally so that they don't have to wind up hurting their employees at the end of each and every year.